Yeah, with all those injuries to major players, the quarterbacks in their division, the Steelers now sit in second place in the North behind the Ravens. Peter, you had a thought about how the characteristics of this game were going to go. You had a thought about the score. What did you make of the Steelers win over the Bengals?
Yeah, Friday I was like, I know exactly how this game is going to turn out. It's going to be 16-10, the Steelers win, because of just the style of the play. And then you see it, and it wasn't quite what I thought it would be. It wasn't just run the ball for 3 yards, run the ball for 3 yards. Kenny Pickett undoubtedly threw the ball downfield more than any time we've seen him throw it all season long. Now, I know he didn't score a touchdown, and I know the numbers aren't bananas, but it seemed like they opened it up a little bit. And then Najee Harris, welcome back to the NFL. It's been quiet for him because we've had Jalen Warren doing all this stuff, and then Najee was the guy yesterday. 15 carries, 99 yards. I think we've all been waiting for Najee to be like, you know what, I'm the dude in this offense. I still am. Look at this carry here. He might be getting a scepter this week. And if he's not, I think the entire Steelers offensive coaching staff, post, of course, the Matt Canada firing, needs something to get someone to recognize what they did. Real quick, look at the schedule's next 4 games for the Steelers. You know what their record is now. They're sitting pretty. Cardinals, that could be a win. Patriots, that should be a win. Colts, that's a good game. It's in Indy. And then the Bengals, who they obviously just beat yesterday. You could be looking at a 12-5 Steelers team when this thing is all said and done. And who knows, if the Ravens can't handle their stuff, they could end up hosting a playoff game for all we know. So Steelers, new offensive minds, Sullivan and Faulkner, great. I liked seeing the offense open up a little bit. It seemed like they had some fun doing it.
Yeah, it was fun to watch that, and they did open up. They just couldn't convert those into touchdowns. That's why you see that 16-10 score. And the reason that the Pittsburgh Steelers, if they can get to that 12-5 mark, is going to be because of their defense. That is what they're built on. When you think of Steelers football, you think of the T.J. Watt, the Cam Haywards, those guys running downhill, hitting people. And T.J. Watt, he just doesn't disappoint. 2 sacks. For him to be unblocked, a forced fumble, that was, 90-some sacks at this point? 91 sacks in 98 career games. Only the second player ever to have that many sacks in less than 100 games. He joins Reggie White. Whenever you're in a sentence with Reggie White, you know you're doing something right. But this Steelers defense, you're talking about how much they can win, how good they can be as a football team. It is led by those guys up front. You talked about throughout the course of this week, Deontay Johnson and Minkah Fitzpatrick got into it last week after the game. And Cam Hayward was asked about it, and he was like, yeah, we have passionate guys, and that's what it's about. That defense leads the team. They hold everybody accountable, and that's the way they win football games.
I hate that Joe Burrow got injured.
Yeah.
I hate it. I watched this game. The Bengals are kind of unrecognizable. That team shouldn't have 10 points with those players. They lost their quarterback sitting there in a stocking cap on the sideline. I hate it. I like the Steelers getting involved the same way that we're all saying. It's like, it's so hot right now, firing the offensive coordinator. And now listen, 16 points ain't so hot, and Peter was on the 16-10. You would think with all the yards they scored, they would have had 23, 30, like 16 points. The Najee Harris thing's interesting because I've been involved in this in my own way, is that Jalen Warren, I don't think anybody runs harder than him in the whole league, kind of the backup. And it's fun to say, he's better because he's undrafted and Najee's a first rounder. They need Najee. Like, to do what they want to do this year, which is win multiple playoff games, they need that guy. It's really interesting how it impacts Good Morning Football, and we'll get into this tomorrow. But you mentioned Najee Harris in our Angry Run segment. It's a very bizarre dynamic and relationship we have with him, whereby not only we don't think he likes angry runs, he openly doesn't want to win it. So if he wins angry runs this week and we send him, it's like it could be the first person to send the scepter back.
Also another layer to it.
Yeah.
His backup won it last week. And sat down and talked about it. So, I don't know if he's going to win it, and there's a lot of football left to be played, and, we got a game tonight. It's the first time I'm, kind of nervous to do angry runs.
Totally.
He's just not into it. It's like Marlon Brando at the Oscars. I don't want to be here.
Good.
I don't respect what this is about. And we'll get into the history a little bit. Just a bit about Good Morning Football. I'm very happy Najee Harris played well. I'm happy George Pickens played well. They can eke out all these one-point wins and everything. If they're going to do something in the playoffs where they beat Baltimore or they beat Miami or they beat whoever the hell, they need those guys. They need Jalen Warren. They need all of them. Najee was great yesterday, really great. We'll see how he feels tomorrow. Probably pissed.
He also needs Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah.
He needs this guiding light of a tight end in this offense. Coming into this game, Freiermuth had 9 catches on the season. How many did he have yesterday? 9 catches in a day for 120 receiving yards. Now, Freiermuth has missed 5 games with a hamstring injury this season, so he has been without in this offense. But he hadn't had 100-plus receiving yards in the NFL in his career yet. Last time he did it was when he was at Penn State. Freiermuth looked great. He's leading the NFL right now going into Monday Night Football. Now, somebody could go off for the Vikings or the Bears, but the fact that this tight end for the Steelers in this grinded-out offense, his first play of the game was a 24-yard gain, and it set the tone in this new play calling and the new offensive mindsets for the Steelers. Freiermuth looked great. I had the double screen going on some of Najee's runs, and my husband was like, oh, look at this run. And I was like, I will never vote for Najee on the angry runs. He's like, geez. And I was like, I'm sorry, he just doesn't like the segment anymore.
We have to maintain the integrity of the democracy at this table.
No,
Yes.
What you need is Josh Dobbs to throw 3 guys on a play tonight so we don't
There
have
we
to
go.
Yes.
Hey, Deontay Foreman, you want to pick me up? Khalil Herbert, you want to? Justin Fields.
Right.
But listen, Najee looked really good.
Yeah.